We are very fortunate to have author, illustrator, and marketing maven Katie Davis here with us today. Welcome, Katie.
Thank you so much. We're doing it, Carrie.
I know. Before we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about how I came across this awesome person. She was first referred to me through the 2013 12 by 12 picture book experience, which is a challenge and an awesome community where writers share awesome resources. Well, there was this buzz that Katie created about an author platform, and I thought, I better get going. It was an early wake-up call for me to get my buns in gear and do what I love most, promoting literacy to kids, writers, and teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So, being a technophobe that I am, I challenged myself to get up this great blog site going, and then spread social media a little bit stronger. And then I found out that video has a wider audience. So, of course, I signed up for Katie's Video Idiot Bootcamp online course, and I overcame my fear of creating video.
And you did too.
Am I better off because of it?
Totally.
You betcha. And could I still learn more? Absolutely and always. So I've always got these questions swimming through my mind.
You're not the only one. I mean, I just talked to a friend of mine who's a social media master, and she said she went to a social media summit and that she listened to these people who are YouTube experts and video experts. I said, oh, tell me everything. She said, that is so great that you want to keep learning. I said, are you kidding? If you find an expert or a guru or anything like that who says they know everything, run in the other direction and never listen to them, because first of all, I don't understand that. This is constantly changing platforms and formats and excuse me, and nobody can know everything. I'm learning from my students all the time. My clients will tell me, I'll say something, they'll say, but I just read, I'll say, oh, I got to check that out. So, people, that's how you learn. I happen to know more than most writers, more than most people, and I just learned to not be afraid. So a lot of writers are not techie, and I love the tech, and I love to share the knowledge. So, and I really am passionate about helping writers, and that's why I got into this other part of the writing business in helping other writers. So it's nice, it's fun.
That's awesome. I agree. You really have to experience something in order to learn it. And the only way sometimes to do it is to jump in with both feet. So you got to get over that fear and just jump in.
Yes.
I love that you have a new experience offered for other people. It's called Crank It Up, and I'd love to hear more about it. Those questions that are swimming through my mind, I know they could be addressed through Crank It Up.
Yes.
Could you tell us more?
Yeah. It was a really amazing thing that happened, and I decided to start a website called coursesforwriters.com, and in order to get people to come and check out the site, I put a free course on it called 100 Things Every Writer Must Do to Succeed Online. I have to look and see what it's called because I mess up the title all the time. It's so long. So when people signed up for it, I set up an email. I sent to every person an email saying, what can I do for you? What kind of courses do you want to see on here? What do you want to learn? I could not believe the response I got. I got dozens and dozens, hundreds of emails back saying, I need to learn this. I have these questions. I have these questions. And what was really interesting is that they weren't hundreds of different emails. They all came under 4 main categories and one kind of along that kind of connected them. But they were video and tech, email lists, how to create them, how to grow them, marketing your book and yourself, and social media, how to do it, how to grow as an author. And I realized that people really, really, really needed help, and I could give that to them because I knew all those things. I've been doing it. I was making money being an author in business, and I was doing a lot of those things I had learned on my own, and I knew how much easier it would be if somebody had just taken me by the hand and shown me all those things. I could have saved years of agony. So I figured I would create a group coaching session based on those questions, and I crafted it, made basically like remember in college, like a 101 class where you get the basics and you learn everything, and that's what I did, taking each subject by the hand, giving tons of backup material and handouts and stuff like that. And that's what I did for four weeks. And the cool thing, which I was stunned by and hadn't planned on, is that when it was done, I figured this out, and I'm not a math genius, 27.27% of the students or the writers that signed on for the first Crank It Up session signed up for a kind of 201 session. Oh, okay. The second, like an implementers, so where it's much more one-on-one and more personalized and customized, and I actually go through each person's website and we see how to optimize it and make it better and set up things for them. Everything they learned in the first session, they go up a level and learn even better, and we go really dig in to people, individualize much more. So it's very gratifying, and we have a lot of fun. It's so much fun. So
great. Yeah. So do you kind of let the students lead the way with their questions then, or do you kind of, I know you said you have 4 main categories that really earned a response through that initial email and everything. Do you go with that as your guide and then take the students' questions and let that lead the way too? Or the first one was created by the questions. All the questions that I got in, the hundreds of questions, that's how I created it and that's how I formed it. The second session is definitely led by each person's need and where they want to go and what they need specifically and individually. So that is, yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, it seems like the biggest gem of Crank It Up is that you're overcoming that self-doubt and the myths that are arming participants. Yeah. So sometimes those myths can kind of make them more fearful, I guess. So you're breaking down those walls and Is that the biggest thing that you feel it's addressing? I didn't think that would be it, but I think it's kind of starting to rise to the surface that is, because people are constantly commenting like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I never thought I could do this. They're in every session. I mean, before the first week was up, I was getting testimonials, and by the second week I had like 5 people saying, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's on the website. It's on katiedavis.com/crankitup. You can see the people are like testifying. It was so gratifying. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm making such a difference. It was so, when you help somebody and you feel so good about that, it's really quite astounding. It really feels good. Yeah. So that, yes, to answer your question, I really do think it's I do think that is amazing, because when it's the whole give a guy a fish thing. give a person the keys to their website, and they learn how to eat for a lifetime.
Well, I can't believe it's such an awesome deal. They're getting such personalized feedback for less than $25 an hour.
Yeah.
I mean,
considering
I think that's unheard of.
Yeah, it is unheard of. Considering I charge over $300 an hour usually, and I get it. I have clients, so this is it. What I was thinking was I would get a lot of people at once, and I could help a lot of people at once, and that would be a great thing, so that if they wanted to continue with me, wonderful, and if they wanted to go on their own, that's also good. But I wanted to be able to help a lot of people one time, because a lot of writers don't make a good income, and I wanted to show them that they can by doing these things. You don't know how many people I say, you have to have an email list. Please just I'm banging my head on the wall trying to get people to have an email list. They're like, yeah, but I don't want to bother people. That's not it. And if I can just get on my soapbox for 1 minute, whether you listen to me or listen to someone else, you have to have an email list. In fact, that's the next thing I'm going to create. I'm going to create a course on how to create an email list, because everybody keeps asking me, and it's the most important thing you can do as a writer in business, because you are a business, and I've been saying this for years. You are a business. If you're a writer, you are like a small business person. You're like your own little store, and not everything in the store, not all your chores, like if you're sweeping up the aisles in the store, that might not be your favorite chore, but you still have to do it. Maybe you like talking to the customers who come into the store more, which is your writing, right? Or your illustrating. But you still have to sweep those floors. Otherwise, the customers aren't going to be able to open the door to come in, because there's going to be too much dirt on the floor, right? How long can I go on with this analogy? but you have to do it. And doing the marketing part is part of our job. Whether you're independently published or traditionally published, you've got to do it. So having your email list is really important. And I was just saying this morning to some friends who have a gigantic writer's blog, they don't have an email list. And I said, they're like, we don't need to because we're never going to sell anything on our blog. I said, you don't need to sell anything to need an email list. What if your site crashes and you can't get it back up? You have no way to reach all those fans. And what if the next week or the next year or whatever, you have a book coming out? How are you going to reach all those people? You just had all those people, those potential book buyers, and people who want to know, and they want to pay you back for all the good that you've given them, all the information and all that stuff. They want to reciprocate. They want to say, thank you so much for all these years of all this great information. I want to support you now that you have a book coming out, and I want to buy your book and help you out. And you're not going to be able to get a hold of them. Okay, I'm getting off the soapbox. So
I'm amazed because you wear so many hats. I mean, you're the author of picture books, middle grade novels, instructional books. You are an illustrator, podcaster, a mom, a speaker, a marketing maven, and more. So how do you do all that?
I have a really good assistant. I go into I think it's the good side of being ADD because I like to do a lot of different things, and I really do have jealousy over people who just want to focus on one thing, because I think it would be easier in a way, but I also really like to do a lot of stuff. I mean, I just enjoy it. So I do, people, the perception of me from the outside in is I'm doing all this stuff, but I haven't drawn in a while, and I saw somebody's sketches, they put it up, I was like, oh man, I missed that, I got to start drawing again. And I'm having lunch with my agent this week in New York, and I'm having major guilt. I hope don't tell her I said that, but I'm having guilt because I haven't drawn in a long time, and I haven't done art, and I also have a partner that I wrote a picture book with. Don't tell her either, because I was supposed to be doing the drawings. So, it's you can't do everything. It's impossible to do everything. But I know your next question, so I won't bring it up. I won't.
Well, I kind of thought of another one.
Oh, go ahead.
So do you have balance tips, or is it just like you utilize some help from some other people and it really helps you make it all work?
Yeah. No, I do have balance tips. Don't kill yourself if you don't get it all done, number one. Nobody can do it all. Yeah, I can't do it all. I can't. I said to you before we started, I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. And they have done studies that show that if you try to multitask, you will do nothing well. Do one thing. I do concentrate. I hyper focus on one thing and power it out, and then I will hyper focus on the next thing and power it out. But it seems like I'm doing a lot because I'm hyper focusing, and I'm good at that. And that is also an ADD quality where you drill down and you just hyper focus on one thing. But I also love what I do, so I can do that. And it sometimes is to the detriment of some other things. But and I have clients, and so then I can't concentrate on other things. I concentrate on them. So and they take priority. My clients will always, if they're employing me, they're paying me money, they're going to take priority. So that's very important to put in my front viewfinder, whatever, in front of my face. I never really forget. I don't forget about them. I have to, in fact, make sure that I take some time off. I had a friend on Friday. I was texting her about some business stuff, and it was Friday night. And she lives in California, and it was like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and she said, "Isn't it Friday night there?" And I said, "Okay, hint taken. I'm stopping now." And my husband was like, "I now love your friend," because he can't get me to stop.
Yeah, I understand. I'm a workaholic. So.
Yeah, but also I'm trying to make college dues. I got 2 kids in college. That stuff is expensive.
Well, one of the good things, I guess, is you can offer this to other people who are feeling really bogged down, because you've got something new that you're offering to other people that either can't overcome their fear of making videos, or they just don't have the time to make videos. And so you are now offering something else called...
Yes, I am. Videos for Writers.
Yay!
And guess what I'm doing? I'm making videos for writers. It's videosforwriters.com. And I couldn't believe I got that URL. Videos for Writers, really? It's available? Yeah, I got videosforwriters.com, and I am making... basically, and it seems like a really complicated thing to describe to people, but remember Mad Libs?
Yes,
right?
I love them.
Right. Okay, so you get the template. You don't write your own story, right? You get a template and you have to fill in the blanks. Well, this is like Mad Libs, but with videos. So I'm starting out with book trailers, and I just did one for Fancy Nancy. I interviewed Robin Price Glasser, and I said, and so she said, yeah, you can do one for Fancy Nancy. I was like, awesome. So I did one for Fancy Nancy, and I love how it came out. And I have a whole bunch I have not released yet. I'm not ready to show the public the site yet. But what will happen is there will be 3 examples for each template, 4 templates to start with to show. There will be a blank template. Well, a template is blank. So there will be a template, and then there will be, say, a picture book using that template. And then there will be a completely different kind of book using that template. So you can see like a novel and maybe a really dark and grim novel and a really light little cute picture book. So you can see that that template can be used by any kind of book. And it will be customized for you. So I will take the template and I will customize that template for your book. And then there's another template, and so one is called the Raving Reviewer, and the next one's called the Teachable Tips, and the next one's called, I forget, but there's 4 of them, and so it's going to be really cool, and I'm making it very affordable, and I've seen I think the lowest price I've seen for somebody making book trailers for people is something like $300, and I'm going to be doing it for less, but they are templates, so they are not like I had somebody hire me to try it out. Like she wanted to hire me, and I said no, but you can be the first person to use the site. But you have to realize it's a template, and it just kept it. I think it's hard for people to understand that it's a template. That means you can't change the template. You fill out a form, and then I fill in the blanks. So you can't in Mad Libs you can't change the stuff that was already there. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And there will be like the first people who sign up, I may give them a deal, or I may give them a deal on the next one or something like that. So if they want to sign up for the priority list, there will be something in the beginning to reward them for being an early adopter. I don't know what yet, but they can sign up for the list, and it's at videosforwriters.com. And so I got to figure out what I'm going to thank them with. But and I'm also going to have add-ons, like people can. I mean, my videos on YouTube are in the top 2.69% for views, which I didn't even know. See, that's another thing I don't know. I didn't know that. One of my guests on my podcast told me that. So I was like, really? So he said, yeah. So I put that in, and so now I know that is a marketable thing. And so I'm going to have, like, it might be $50 if somebody wants to put their video on a playlist. I will do that. So, things like that, little add-ons. And if I make it inexpensive enough, maybe it'll fly.
Is there a special date that they can expect a rollout, or just get on the list, and that's the best thing to do, so you can get the updates?
Yeah, they have to be on the list, because it has been. I thought I was going to launch in the summer. I've been working on it for over a year, and it's really complicated because I didn't know how I was going to show it, and I also want to do it for adult writers and other people, and all. I could do it for small businesses too. I wouldn't have to just be for writers, because it's really scalable. I mean, I could do it for really anyone, but I mean, my niche is children's writers, so that's where I want to. And I'll be doing school visit and appearances videos. I'll be doing welcome videos for people's sites, and all different kinds of videos. So I have to get this first. So they click on it, they fill out the form, I do the video, I create the video, and hopefully it gets so big that I'm hiring people to help me create the videos.
Oh, that's
we'll
awesome.
See. Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds really great for people who don't have a lot of time and
or
really,
money.
Just can't overcome that fear. So
right.
Looking forward to that. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thanks, Carrie.
Well, I have to switch gears because I'd be really regretful if I didn't ask you about my passion, which is picture books. So, are there any more picture books on the horizon for you?
Yes, definitely. Well, first, my when you say on the horizon, that I'm working on or that are
yes.
I am working on a book, a Halloween book that's a story from my childhood. I've been working on that forever. And I'm also working on the one I told you that is with a friend of mine. We wrote together. It's very cute and funny. And in fact, we wrote it. It came to us when we were on Julie Headland's Writers Renaissance retreat in Florence, Italy. So give her a little plug on that, because you'll get inspired, and it's fantastic. And then I also have I have a book that's been germinating for a while, that comes from something that we did with my kids when they were little, and maybe if I write it, maybe I would get some tuition money, comes for their education, Not that we don't do this thing with them anymore, which I can't talk about because it's
right.
I don't want to put it out there because it dissipates. It dissipates the idea,
Okay.
But it's a really fun idea.
Awesome. How did you break into the picture book market? Can you tell us a little bit about that story?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's really funny because ever since I was 16, I was writing and illustrating little stories. And the first one I did for this little girl, and I didn't even know it was a picture book. It was basically a dummy. And I was just always messing around with that. And it never occurred to me that I could do it as a job. When I was growing up, authors did not go into schools and talk about how you could do that for a job. I just thought, writers were this other, echelon of people, or they were like old dead guys. So, really, I mean, it was something that lined the walls of the library. So it was something too special. And so I grew up. I started doing other kinds of writing for my work and marketing and things like that. And so when I finally, I had a little collection of picture books, and when I met my husband, he had the same sort of obscure collection of picture books. And the one day, and it was right before the 25th anniversary of SCBWI, he was working at an animation studio, and he got a flyer on his desk for the conference. And he said, "Why don't you go to this thing?" And he said, "You're always messing around with these picture books." And I said, "Okay, I'll do it." And I walked in there knowing nobody, not a person, not a soul. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what a dummy was. I didn't know anything. So that was really the beginning. And I met people, and I walked in, and I heard, "Ah," and the angels singing, and walked in, and there was like 800 people there. And I feel like that place, that was it. That's where I learned that I could do, why I was on the planet. That's what I felt.
Aw,
yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
What did you do before that? What was your main dream or your job before that?
Oh, I did a lot of jobs that I hated, and got fired a bunch of times. And then I really was an entrepreneur for a long time. I was doing hand-painted ceramics and selling them to these high-end stores all around the country. And the company was called Dirty Dishes. This is pre-internet, you couldn't Google it, really, I don't even think. I've never done it, but maybe you can, I don't know. And then I started licensing my designs. And one of the designs was called Scared Guy, and it got pretty big, especially in Japan. I got to go to Japan. That was pretty cool. They brought me over there, did a show, and that was very nice. And so that was what I was doing at the time. So, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What keeps you sane when you're on overload?
What I'm sane? My husband and our dog Mango. The kids are gone. They're at school, so I can't say that. Or maybe that is what keeps me sane. No, I'm only kidding, kids. I just reading and being, exercise. I love to exercise and, just seeing friends and things like that. Talking to friends, yeah. Yeah.
It has been great having you with us today.
Thank you.
Really all on my pleasure, and you've done so much to help me already, and I know that you will be helping so many more past me and beyond, so thank you. We've got some links down below our video here.
And we have prizes.
A special deal that you want to offer too, right?
Yeah, we have prizes. We're going to... yes. Giveaways. So I wrote a book called How to Promote Your Children's Book, Tips, Tricks, and Secrets to Create a Bestseller. Way too long a title, but what are you going to do? It's way too long a book, frankly. Also, but it was number one on... Oops, I got a notice. It was number one on Amazon for quite some time. So it's pretty good. So you'll learn a lot from it. And you can enter the raffle by tweeting and Facebooking this interview. And so give Carrie some love. And she'll get, we get people to come and get onto your site that way. So I hope you get the word out.
Awesome.
And it'll be on for a week. Right?
Well, we hope that you found some awesome new resources here and that maybe you'll win one of those awesome copies to help you promote your book or your career.
Right.
Thanks so much. And enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.